Hi folks, it's Julie with Dragonfly Awakening of Colorado. Welcome to the second episode of the Transformation Station series, a space for real conversations about healing, growth, and remembering who we are. The first episode was about identifying your core wound, that deep emotional injury that shaped how you see yourself and the world. Today, we're continuing that conversation by exploring what you can do to heal that wound so it stops running your life on autopilot. In the last episode, the focus was on awareness, recognizing your patterns, reactions, behaviors, and the false beliefs that formed around your wound. That awareness is huge. It's the first big step toward healing. If you haven't seen that episode yet, I've linked episode 1, Finding Your Core Wound, in the description below. But awareness is just the beginning. Healing takes understanding, compassion, and a willingness to meet those hidden parts of yourself with love instead of judgment. So in this episode, we'll talk about what that actually looks like. And I'll share some steps and perspectives to help you begin the process of true emotional healing. Before we go any further, I just want to reiterate that I'm not a mental health professional. What I share here comes from my own experience, education, and spiritual perspective. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. It's also possible that as you move through this process, some intense or overwhelming emotions may surface. If that's the case for you, please reach out to a licensed therapist or counselor for additional support. I think a lot of people, when they start looking deeper into themselves to bring light to old wounds from past experiences, reach a point where they just want to stop. Just go right back to ignoring it. The pain starts to rise, and the instinct is to stuff it back down. Forget it, this is too hard. If you're starting to feel that urge, chances are you're slipping into judgment, either toward yourself or toward someone who played a part in your wounding. What you need to understand is that this pain is part of you. It's a piece of your story. Pretending it doesn't exist doesn't make it go away. It actually gives it more power over you. And when you finally face it with compassion instead of judgment, that's when true healing begins. Healing isn't about fixing yourself or erasing the past. It's about meeting the parts of you that were hurt, misunderstood, or ignored, and letting them know they're safe now. Often when people think of finally being healed, they imagine becoming someone new, someone else, someone better. But real healing is actually about allowing yourself to be whole. It's remembering that even the parts of you that were wounded still belong to you. Those parts are not wrong or broken. They don't need to be fixed. They need to be seen. They hold wisdom, sensitivity, and depth that were born through pain. And those are the same qualities that allow you to grow, to empathize, and to help others. So healing isn't about self-improvement. It's about self-reclamation. I know it can be hard to see it this way. Back before I started therapy, I was hiding under layers upon layers of masks and defenses. I did what everybody else did. I looked at other people in my life and on social media and thought, man, they have it all figured out. They're so much happier than me. They're smarter than me. All their relationships look really good, really perfect. I wish I were like them. I wish I were anyone but me. There's no way that I'm ever going to get past all this stuff. And now I'm here to tell you everyone is in the same boat. No matter what it looks like on the surface, everyone has something they wish was different. Yes, there are people out there who have done a ton of healing and are now free to live their best life, and that's wonderful. But you're in that process too. You're on your way there. A lot of people, though, are just showing you the mask they want you to see. It's important to remember that we're all learning and growing here. The earth is a school for everybody, not just you. Nobody is better or worse than you. And I want you to carry that with you as we move forward in this episode. Let's take the judgment out of this. Judgment toward ourselves and judgment toward others. When we judge, it's usually because we don't understand. And we can't truly heal until we begin to understand the message behind our core wound. So, what are some ways that we can understand the message behind our wounding and begin to heal? There's no one-size-fits-all approach to healing. What matters is that you choose practices that help you reconnect with yourself and reinforce love, safety, and self-worth. Here are just a few ways you can do that. Journaling is always a good start, and we already talked about this in the last video. Some of you might be going, ugh, not more journaling, and that's okay, but listen, journaling is always on the list for a reason. When you write down what you're feeling and what triggers you, it helps you to recognize patterns that might not be working for you. But it also gives your subconscious a voice. Sometimes you'll start writing and things come out that you didn't even know were there. You didn't even know you were holding them. It's a safe space to get honest, to slow your thoughts, and to actually hear yourself. And later, when you look back, you'll see how much you've grown. Writing things down helps you to remember, and it helps you to see your progress in a way that thinking alone never can. It can be really helpful to put words to the false beliefs that have been generated by your core wound. To simplify, what bad things do you believe about yourself? Do you believe that you're not good enough? That you're unlovable? That you don't deserve to be happy? That your needs don't matter as much as everyone else's? That you're not allowed to take up space in the world? That you don't deserve to be here? Then go a little deeper. Where do you see this belief showing up in your life today? What do you feel when you're triggered? Now bring your attention to your inner child, the part of you who first learned to believe this. What were they feeling in that moment? What did they need to hear or experience that they didn't get? When you can name that need, whether it was to be loved, heard, protected, or believed, you start to understand what your wound has been trying to show you all along. What is this wound trying to help you understand about yourself? Now, this question isn't about shame or blame. It's about wisdom. What wisdom does this wound hold for you? Ask yourself, what new truth or affirmation can I choose instead? And what actions can I take this week to reinforce that new truth? A big part of healing is realizing that what your wound is trying to teach you isn't something negative. If the trigger tells you that you're unlovable, the wound is actually guiding you toward the truth that you are infinitely loved, that you always have been and always will be worthy of love. That's where the healing comes from. The false belief is simply pointing you back to your real truth. Once you've started writing and connecting those dots, the next step is learning how to quiet your mind and reconnect with your inner guidance. And that's where meditation comes in. Meditation is another really powerful tool for healing, and I know that word can bring up a lot of resistance for some people. You might be thinking, my mind never stops. It's so noisy in there, I can't meditate. But that's actually the point. Learning to be with yourself even when your mind is busy. Meditation isn't about forcing your thoughts to stop. It's about changing your relationship with them. The breath, a mantra, or whatever you choose to focus on is just there to help you. It's a doorway, not the destination. Focusing on your breath helps you stay present and grounded, but the deeper purpose is to observe what's happening inside you without judgment. When you do this without trying to fix anything, you start to see your thoughts and emotions for what they really are. Energy moving through you, not who you are. When you sit quietly and breathe, you create space. Thoughts may come and go, emotions may rise and fall, and that's okay. The goal isn't to push them away, but to notice them, allow them, and let them move through. Be aware of what comes up, but don't attach to it. You can witness your thoughts and feelings without letting them pull you in. Over time, you start to realize that you are not your thoughts. You're the awareness behind them. Stillness isn't something you can force. It's something that naturally finds you when you stop trying to control everything. Even just a few minutes a day can make a difference. You can close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and simply notice what you're feeling in your body. If thoughts come up, let them drift by like clouds. If emotions rise, just breathe into them and let them move. Over time, meditation helps you develop the ability to pause before reacting. It brings awareness into the present moment, which means you can start catching those old wound-based patterns before they take over. If you feel like you could use some additional guidance, my husband Eric offers one-on-one meditation coaching and instruction. You can visit dragonflyawakening.com to book a session with him. And if sitting still isn't your thing, that's okay too. Meditation doesn't have to look one specific way. You can meditate while walking, drawing, stretching, or even washing dishes. Anything that helps you slow down, breathe, and listen to yourself. Once you learn to find that quiet space within, when you touch that part of yourself that is one with the divine, don't leave it behind. Many people, when they end their meditation, simply jump straight into activity, losing that deep stillness they just found. When you get up, move slowly and take your meditation with you. If you meditate in the morning and the evening, soon your meditation meets in the middle. Soon your entire day becomes meditation. Soon meditation becomes you. Your goal is to align with your own higher consciousness, that of the divine. You do that by simply resting in your larger being, by allowing everything to be just as it is. Meditation is aligning with that process. So, meditation helps you become aware of your thoughts without judging them. The next step is to consciously choose which thoughts you want to nurture. Positive affirmations are a simple way to do that. They teach your mind to align with the truth of who you really are. Affirmations are simple statements that help you consciously replace an old belief with a new one that aligns with your healing. They're not just feel-good phrases. They're a way to retrain your subconscious mind. Affirmations are about watering the plants that you want to grow. Let me explain what I mean by that. Imagine you have two plants. One plant is beautiful. It has bright green leaves, gorgeous flowers, and the fruit that comes from it is healthy and nurturing. Just the sight of it makes you happy. Now, this is a plant that you want to take care of because you want to see it thrive. You want to enjoy its fruit and be able to look at it every day and say, wow, look at this beautiful thing I grew. So, of course, you're going to water it and give it everything it needs to stay healthy and strong. The second plant, however, is what I call the poison plant. This plant smells bad, looks rotten. The fruit that grows from it is toxic, and it's something that you just really don't want to see all the time. You want this plant out of your life. You don't know why you chose to keep it around in the first place. If given the choice to water one plant or the other, you'd naturally choose the beautiful one, right? The first plant represents the beliefs you want to grow, the truths you want to live from. The second plant represents the false beliefs you're moving away from. Interestingly, most of the time, maybe out of habit, guilt, or shame, something like that, we end up watering the poison plant. It doesn't make logical sense, but that's how we've been programmed to operate. When you focus on the beliefs you don't prefer, you're watering the poison plant, even when you're trying to get rid of those beliefs. So for example, you could be saying to yourself, I hate that I believe I'm unlovable. Why do I have to feel so unlovable? Things would be so much better, so much easier if I could just not believe that I'm unlovable. Well, the focus is still on being unlovable. So you're still watering the poison plant. The key is to shift your focus to the belief you do want to grow. When you nurture the new positive belief, the old one begins to dissolve naturally because it's no longer getting the nourishment of your attention. So for example, if your wound taught you, I'm not good enough, your new affirmation might be, I am more than enough, just as I am. If you believed, I'm unlovable, your affirmation could be, I am deeply loved and worthy of love. Now, I know some people struggle with affirmations because they feel fake at first, and that's completely normal. You're not trying to force yourself to believe something new overnight. You're simply planting seeds. Each time you repeat a positive truth, you're building new neural pathways and gently dissolving the old ones. There are lots of ways to work with affirmations. When I really want to drive a new belief home, sometimes I find the most effective way is to use a mala. This is a mala. It has 108 beads plus 1 guru bead. It's really easy to use for affirmations. Just hold the first bead, say your affirmation, then move to the next bead and say the affirmation again. And you do this over and over and over until you get all the way around to the guru bead. Okay, so for example, we could be using the affirmation, I am deeply loved and worthy of love. So we go to the first bead. I am deeply loved and worthy of love. 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 And just keep going on each bead, all through the whole mala until you get to all the way to the end, to this bigger guru bead. Okay? And as you're saying this, try to feel yourself, just open up and feel that love that you're giving to yourself right there. Okay? This is hugely beneficial. It doesn't take long to do this. You can do it once a day or multiple times a day. The more the better. The key is consistency. The more you practice, the more your subconscious begins to accept your preferred beliefs as true. And by the way, I make these malas, and I have some available for purchase on northforktnt.com, which I've linked in the description. I also have another video called Change Your Mind, Change Your Life, in which I go into more detail about how to work with affirmations. I'll link that in the description as well. And if you want to take it a step further, try saying your affirmations out loud in front of a mirror, which brings us to the next practice. Mirror work is one of the most powerful ways to make affirmations truly sink in. When you say your affirmations out loud while looking into your own eyes, something shifts. There's something different about it. It's not just words you're repeating. You're facing yourself and having a direct conversation with your own soul. Some years ago, I was working with an amazing energy healer. I was going through a major transition and felt like I was on very shaky ground at the time. At the end of our session, she suggested something that seemed very simple. Go home, look at myself in the mirror, and say, I am enough. Say it as many times as I needed to until I started to believe it. At first, I couldn't even do it once. Every time I tried to say, I am enough, I started crying. It shocked me how hard it was to tell myself something so simple. For a moment, I was so discouraged because it made me feel like I had reached such a low place. But I kept at it and started saying other nice things to myself in the mirror as well. And it was wildly beneficial. I really started to believe good things about myself. I started to feel my power return, all from just looking in my own eyes and speaking to myself with kindness. I share that because you might have unexpected challenges with this too. Mirror work can feel surprisingly uncomfortable at first. Many people avoid it because it feels awkward or even painful sometimes. But that discomfort is often your wound rising to the surface. It's the part of you that doesn't yet believe those loving words. When you keep doing it anyway, saying these things into your own eyes, you start to build trust with yourself. You're saying, I see you, I love you, you matter. And over time, those words sink in and you start to truly believe them. You can start simple. Stand in front of a mirror, look into your own eyes, and take a slow breath. And say one affirmation that you truly want to believe. Maybe it's, I am enough. Maybe it's, I am loved. Or maybe it's, I am safe. If you notice tears, tension, or resistance, that's okay. You're starting to release the old energy, and some of it might be fighting to stay alive. Relax as much as you can and let that energy flow through. Breathe through it, cry as much as you need to, and keep speaking to yourself with kindness. The more you do this, the more natural it feels. Eventually, those words won't just sound like affirmations. They'll sound like the truth. But mirror work isn't only for affirmations. Your mirror time is your time to shine. Look into your own eyes and say, I love you. Tell yourself everything you appreciate about who you are. For example, I love you so much. You're such a great mom or a great dad. You're such a kind person. You're so good at your job. You always do your best. You're so creative. You're such a talented artist. You make people laugh. Even things like, you have the cutest little nose. Anything and everything that you like about yourself. Say it to the mirror. If you've ever heard of Louise Hay, you know she was a big advocate of mirror work. She taught that looking into your own eyes helps you connect directly with your inner child, your subconscious mind, and your higher self. She said the mirror never lies. It reflects back exactly how you feel about yourself in that moment, giving you the opportunity to change those beliefs with love. She suggested looking in the mirror and saying, I love you. I really, really love you. What can I do for you today to make you happy? You may not get an answer right away, but just the act of looking into your eyes and putting your focus on your own happiness is how you start to really prioritize and love yourself. The last step I'll cover for healing your core wound is learning to live as if your new healthy belief is already true. You've done the awareness work. You've journaled, meditated, affirmed, looked yourself in the eyes. Now it's time to bring that belief into your daily life. Let's say your new truth is, I am lovable. Treat yourself like someone who is lovable. Speak kindly to yourself. Do things that make you feel cared for, appreciated, and seen. You might take yourself on a little date. Eat healthy food, take a nap if you feel tired, or surround yourself with people who treat you with kindness and respect. If your new belief is, I am worthy, act like someone who knows their worth. People who really know that they are valuable will never settle for less than what feels right. Ask for what you need. Keep promises to yourself. You deserve your own reliability and respect. If your new belief is, I deserve to be happy, then make choices that bring you joy. Stop acting like you have to please the people around you before you're allowed to be happy. Go play, explore, travel. Laugh more. Give yourself permission to enjoy your life without guilt or apology. Or maybe you're like me and the old belief is, my voice doesn't matter. So your new belief might be, my voice matters, or what I say and feel is important. So what can you do to reinforce that? Use your voice. Express yourself. Let your opinions be known. You can say your words, sing them, write them, or even express yourself through art or music. One thing that has really helped me open up my voice is singing karaoke. Use any kind of expression that feels good to you. Your voice and your light deserve to be shared with the world. The way you treat yourself reinforces what you believe about yourself. Every loving, self-directed action is like proof to your subconscious that the new belief is true. And it doesn't have to be perfect. This is just a practice. Some days you'll slip back into old habits, and that's okay. What matters is that you notice it, forgive yourself, and get back on track. Healing isn't just about changing thoughts. It's about showing up differently for yourself every day. You're teaching your mind, body, and energy that you are safe, worthy, and loved. So treat yourself like someone who truly believes in your value. Because the more you do, the more the world will reflect that truth back to you. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks of you. You will only ever receive what you believe yourself to be worthy of. So much of healing is about giving yourself what you didn't get when your wound was formed. For me, that meant learning to listen to myself, to truly hear my own voice. How do I feel? What is my truth after years of feeling unheard and unseen? If your wound is similar, this work helps you rebuild that inner trust. Every time you journal honestly, you're listening to yourself. Every time you meditate, you're creating space for your inner voice to be heard. Every time you speak an affirmation or look into your own eyes with love, you're showing yourself that your words and your feelings do matter. You're no longer waiting for someone else to tell you that you're worthy or that your truth counts. You're becoming the person who says, I hear you, I believe you, I love you, and you matter. That's what healing the core wound really is. Learning to give yourself the love, the safety, and the validation that you once had to go without. And when you do, you don't just heal the wound, you transform it into compassion, wisdom, and strength. You become the person who not only hears and loves yourself, but helps others feel heard and loved too. Thank you so much for watching. I'll release another video next week in which we'll talk about what it means to live in this space between who you were and who you're becoming. A liminal space where the old patterns are dissolving, but the new ways of being haven't fully taken root. Until then, be kind to yourself. Keep listening to your inner voice. Keep speaking to yourself with kindness. Keep honoring your truth. And know that every small act of self-love creates ripples of healing in the world around you. This kind of inner work takes courage. Be proud of yourself for the work you're doing to heal. And if you're feeling called to go deeper or want personal guidance, you can always visit dragonflyawakening.com to book a session. As always, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments how you're doing with this work, or if you have any questions or even helpful suggestions that I may not have covered. If this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who might benefit from it. It really helps the channel grow and helps more people find this kind of healing work. Thank you again for watching and allowing me to be part of your healing journey. I'll see you next week for episode 3, The In-Between, Becoming Your Healed Self. Until then, Take care of yourself and keep shining your light. Bye.